You ever come home from a couple days away, just looking for a little peace and quiet, and the first thing you see is your land, turned into a makeshift parking lot for an HOA bake sale? And way too little respect. Let me back up a sec. Boone, my dog, part bloodhound, part linebacker, knew something was off before I even had the truck in park. He leapt down, sniffed the air, and shot me this look like, "Are you seeing this?" I step out, and there's Karen Delaney, queen of the HOA, standing under a big white tent, her little plastic tiara just about sparkling in the morning sun. She's got a clipboard, a hand on her hip, and this smug smile that says, "Welcome to your own property, Mr. Walker." There's SUVs all over the field, one bright green sports car sitting right on the new ryegrass Sadie planted, a folding table covered with cupcakes. She doesn't even flinch. "Leash him, please. We have children present," as if I'm the threat. So I start surveying the damage, my irrigation box wide open, the trench half collapsed under the weight of their tires, cones with my name crossed out in red Sharpie. Karen comes marching over like she's about to hand out a blue ribbon at the county fair. "We tried to notify you," she says. "Board voted while I was gone. Parcel 7A, my land, is now a community overflow lot. All legal," she claims. "Sure." I spot Chuck, as if I might explode at any minute. "Because you don't look good." I don't answer. Karen's got her story straight. It's for the good of the community. There's not enough curb space for our growth. That's when Sadie shows up, still in her kitchen towel. She takes it all in. Wrecked flowers, deep tire tracks, a kid throwing his juice pouch at Boone. She doesn't get angry, doesn't even raise her voice. Just walks over, puts her hand on Boone's head, and whispers, "They don't think you'll fight back." That was all I needed. I went straight to the barn, pulled out the old survey maps, the ones that show every inch of slope and drainage, the kind that get you thinking. If they want a parking lot, I'd show them how fast you can lose one. I didn't sleep that night. Boots still muddy, Boone curled up under the table. I pored over every deed, every HOA notice, every email. Found the vote buried in my spam folder. Just a Google Drive link and a bunch of files marked Community Integration Resource Plan. No signature, no timestamp, just Karen's initials. It wasn't about one event. They were angling to make my pasture permanent infrastructure, to flip it to developers. Next morning, Chuck shows up with his laptop. We start digging. Turns out the HOA budget's got a fat chunk set aside for a landscape contour adjustment. They're planning to pave my field, resale ready, all in the name of community growth. Karen's got her hands in every part of it, and nobody's stopping her. Yet, Sadie tells me, "You fought harder to get this land than anyone I know. They think a spreadsheet will take it from you." She's right. Karen buried me in paperwork, but I can bury her in proof. I start cataloging everything, take photos, upload backups, get every document ready. That evening, I walk the perimeter, cones pushed further onto my land, Karen's still out there, playing chess. Sadie joins me as the sun goes down, says, "They don't know what you're capable of." She's right again. The next morning, Karen shows up at my door with a tray of lemon bars and another agreement for me to sign, temporary cooperation and transfer of rights. I ask what happens if I don't sign. She flashes that smile, tells me about daily fines and lost HOA voting rights. Boone steps forward, Karen tenses up. Suddy steps onto the porch, eyes like flint. Karen tries to act like it's all just business. People move, circumstances change, someone else will live here. I don't give her the satisfaction of an answer. That night, I dig out my old survey gear, string line, grade stakes, the works. Sadie says, "You bury them before they bury us." She gets it. I wasn't out for payback, not at first. I wanted proof. I caught a stranger on my field at 1:44 a.m., clipboard in hand, surveying the trench. Not even Tad, but a contractor. Pre-construction analysis, the whole thing was in motion. I gathered the evidence, footprints, video, Karen's denials, everything. Suddy says, "You're not over there anymore, John. You don't have to be that guy." Maybe she's right, but some things just don't change. Chuck calls, new event, community garden kickoff. Tad's filed the permit under his shell company. It's all too slick, too planned. I set a trap. A decoy valve wired with GPS and RFID. Just enough to mark whoever tries to mess with it again. Then Boone goes missing. Just like that. One morning, he's not on the porch. I find a duct-taped strip with his fur stuck to it by the trench, and my heart drops. The trail cam shows two guys, hoods, gloves. They lure Boone with food, scoop him up, and vanish in under 2 minutes. Sadie's face says it all. Chuck tracks the truck, Tad Shell Company. All the evidence points there. I see Tad at the gas station. Let him feel my stare. He knows what he did. I don't have to say a word. That night, I open the Watergate box, the emergency flood route. One flip, and every car on my community lot would be floating by morning. The next day is Ridge Harmony Day. Balloons, a bounce house, a coffee truck, all on my field. I wait, scope in hand, as Karen laughs with her board. When she steps between the Lexus and the folding table, I open the valves. The trench howls, the field floods, tables flip, the bounce house careens into a Prius. Karen and Tad flounder in the mud. HOA members scrambling. Suddy just says, "Hope it was worth it," then walks away. That night, Karen leaves me a voicemail, all threats and bluster. Admits they took Boone to make a point. That's her mistake. It's on tape. By the time the dust settles, nobody's on her side. I hand everything over, the emails, the maps, the confessions. The judge doesn't care about her malicious land weaponization argument, especially after hearing her say on tape, "We were just making a point. My land is ruled outside HOA jurisdiction." They're fined for trespassing, Karen suspended, board dissolved. But that doesn't bring Boone back. I track him through 3 shell companies, 2 abandoned kennels, and finally a rusted trailer. Chuck and I close in. One handler out front, I take him down. Inside, Boone is in a crate, silent, watching me with those same old eyes. I open the door, and he walks out, presses his head to my knee. We don't need words. We just breathe. Karen's fall is public and hard. Board suspended, assets seized, her little empire gone. The neighborhood strips down the old signs, bonfires with the bylaws. And me, I'm still on my porch with Boone. Sometimes he just lies there in the grass, watching the wind, and I do the same. Peace settles heavy, like a reminder of everything we just fought through. But every now and then, I look at that leash by the door, and I remember, this isn't about moving on or getting over. It's about staying ready, just in case somebody tries this again. So let's hear it. Where do you stand on all this? What would you have done in my boots? Was I right or wrong to fight back the way I did? Tell me what you think, because these days, justice isn't as simple as it looks on paper. And sometimes the only thing that keeps the peace is being willing to break it when you have to.